All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're completely breaking down the exact application process for Shoemaker property management. Look, if you found a property you absolutely love and you want to snag it without dealing with those frustrating, agonizing delays, well, you're in exactly the right place. We all know rental applications can be ridiculously stressful and super competitive, so we're going to take all the guesswork right out of it for you. Let's get into it. So, ready to apply? Here's exactly what you need. We're going to take a look at a behind-the-scenes timeline of what you actually have to prepare before you even pick up a pen to fill out the form. Because honestly, knowing what's coming is going to save you a ton of precious time. It keeps you from scrambling for info at the last second, and that gives you a massive competitive edge. Okay, let's dive into this. The very first thing you need to know is basically the cost of admission. There is a $40 application fee. But, and this is a really crucial detail, that fee is per adult. Yep, that means every single adult who plans on staying at the property, even if they aren't the primary breadwinner or they aren't the one signing the main lease, they have to be accounted for. They each pay this non-refundable fee just to cover their own individual background check. So the whole point here is to get your paperwork totally lined up before you even begin. Step 1, gathering your documentation. You absolutely must have a proper state ID and concrete proof of income. Specifically, they want your recent tax stubs or your bank statements. Step 2 is actually completing and physically signing the application itself. And step 3, well, it's a little bit old school, but you'll need to submit it by faxing everything directly to their office at 601-268-6024. Seriously, don't let that catch you off guard. If you don't own a fax machine, find a local fax service ahead of time. Now, moving on to completing the applicant profiles, think of me as your personal guide through this kind of heavy data entry portion of the paperwork, just so you know exactly what information to have ready to go before you start writing. Notice how incredibly thorough you need to be for everyone involved here. For the primary applicant, you've got to provide all the standard details: social security number, contact info, total occupants, and yes, that includes children and pets, plus detailed employer information, your monthly income, and your current landlord's contact info. But then, check out the requirements for a co-applicant. If you've got a spouse, a parent co-signing, or a roommate, they can't just check a box and call it a day. No way. They have to provide the exact same heavy lifting details regarding their employment, their income, and their current landlord. It's the whole shebang for them, too. Oh, and to really speed up the process, do yourself a favor and grab your vehicle registration right now. The application strictly requires the make, model, year, color, and the tag number for your cars. You're also going to need to list emergency contacts and personal references, including their phone numbers and how they know you. Seriously, just have these written down somewhere handy so you aren't, pausing to awkwardly scroll through your phone contacts right in the middle of filling this whole thing out. All right, next up, declaring history and references. We're shifting gears here to a slightly more serious part of the document. This is all about your behavioral rental history. So this is kind of a high contrast red flag section on the form. They ask two very direct questions that just need a simple yes or no. Number 1, have you ever been served an eviction notice or asked to vacate? And number 2, have you ever willfully or intentionally refused to pay rent when it was actually due? Now, if you circle yes to refusing rent, the form explicitly requires a written explanation right there on the page. Honesty is absolutely your best policy here, guys, because as we're about to see, they are going to rigorously verify your answers. Which brings us to the landlord background check. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what happens behind the scenes after you submit that paperwork. There's this bottom section of the page designated for office use only. Now, most applicants literally never think about this area, but it completely dictates your overall success. See, when Shoemaker Property Management calls up your current or previous landlord, this is the exact insider criteria they're asking about. They aren't just calling to say, hey, did this person live there? No, they want to know the real deal. Did you actually fulfill your lease and give proper notice? Is your rent currently paid up? Were any legal proceedings filed against you? Did you leave the residence clean? And then, there's the ultimate deciding question. Would that landlord re-rent to you again? It's pretty wild, right? This little peek behind the curtain shows you exactly what property managers value the absolute most. So, as you gather up your $40 fee per adult, your pay stubs, your vehicle tags, and all those reference numbers we talked about, I want you to ask yourself something. Based on this incredibly strict insider criteria, will your previous landlord actually give you a passing grade? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer today, and hey, best of luck with your application.